The quiet strength within? A journey through gentle movement in motherhood. Are you pregnant and feeling overwhelmed, tired, or unsure how to move your body safely during this special time? You're not alone. In today's video, we resharing 5 easy and gentle exercise tips for pregnant women that you can start doing right now, at home, with no equipment needed. These movements are safe, calming, and designed to support your body, your baby, and your mind. Whether you're in your first trimester or nearing the finish line, these simple exercises will help you feel more connected, more grounded, and more prepared for the journey ahead. So take a deep breath, find a quiet space, and try them today in the comfort of your own home. Because taking care of yourself is the first step to taking care of your baby. Let's begin. But before the video starts, write in the comments, from where you are watching this video, thank you. The soft hum of morning light filtered through the curtains as Amelia sat at the edge of her bed, her hands gently cradling the curve of her belly. At 30 weeks pregnant, she was discovering a new rhythm to life, slower, yes, but filled with a kind of awareness she hadn't known before. The smallest flutter from inside made her pause, smile, breathe deeper. It was a delicate time, not only physically, but emotionally. The world outside moved fast, always demanding, always loud. But here, within the warm hush of her home, she found solace. And today, more than anything, she wanted to do something kind for herself. Something gentle, something strong. Her midwife had encouraged her to move a little more each day, not for weight, not for vanity, but to prepare her body and mind for the journey ahead. Think of it, she'd said, as movement for motherhood. Graceful, strong, mindful. Amelia had nodded. But where to begin? She wasn't an athlete. She didn't even own a yoga mat. Still, she had her breath, her body, and a little space beside the window. That morning, she brewed her chamomile tea, placed a soft towel on the floor, and pulled out the notes she'd scribbled the night before. At the top of the page, in bold handwriting, it read, 5 easy and gentle exercise tips for pregnant women. Try them today in the comfort of your own home. She looked at it for a long moment, then exhaled. That line, so simple, held power. It wasn't about pushing, it was about honoring. Honoring the change, the growth, the transformation. She began with the first. 1. Deep breathing with arm circles. The movement was so simple, it felt almost silly at first. Inhale. Arms lift out and up. Exhale. They fall softly back down. But as Amelia repeated it, she began to feel the subtle magic of it. Her ribcage expanded, her shoulders softened. There was a graceful flow in the motion, like waves reaching toward the shore. And as her breath deepened, so did her presence. No more multitasking. No checking her phone, just this moment, this body, this baby. It wasn't just about oxygen. It was about arriving fully, gently, to herself. The second movement on her list made her smile. 2. Wall push-ups. Back in college, she'd laughed at the idea of They'd always felt aggressive, masculine, intimidating. But here she was now, standing in front of the hallway wall, palms placed shoulder-width apart, her feet slightly behind. She inhaled, leaned in, and pushed herself back with a steady exhale, again and again. The wall didn't move, but her confidence did. There was something empowering about meeting resistance and easing into it with calm. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was preparing for holding, for lifting, for loving. Her arms, once used for typing, hugging, cooking, would soon cradle a whole new life. They needed strength, but they also needed softness. The wall gave her both. 3. Seated pelvic tilts. This one felt almost instinctive. She sat cross-legged on a cushion, spine tall, hands resting on her thighs. With a slow inhale, she tilted her pelvis forward, imagining her lower spine stretching open like a yawn. On the exhale, she rolled it back, gently pressing her navel inward. The motion was subtle, barely visible, but inside, it felt profound. Her hips released, her lower back softened. It was like speaking a secret language with her own bones. This was the space where her baby would move through, someday soon. It felt sacred, almost ancient. Each tilt whispered, I trust you. I trust this. The fourth tip brought her onto her side. 4. Side-lying leg lifts. Amelia lay on her left side, a pillow beneath her belly, her legs extended. Slowly, she lifted her top leg just a few inches, then lowered it with care. Her hand rested over her heart, feeling the quiet rhythm within. She moved gently, no rush, no strain. Just enough to awaken the outer hips, the muscles that would support her in walking, in labor, in those long nights of rocking and soothing. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real, and somehow, it made her feel alive in the most grounded way. She was building the foundation of her strength, one careful lift at a time, and finally, she came to the last. 5 cat-cow stretches on all fours. This one brought a smile. She positioned herself on hands and knees, her wrists beneath her shoulders, her knees beneath her hips. On the inhale, she arched her back gently, lifting her chest and tailbone. On the exhale, she rounded, drawing her chin in and curling like a sleepy kitten. The movement felt like poetry. Her spine sang in response, unwinding tension and carrying away the weight of yesterday. This was not about athleticism. It was about flow, about kindness, about rediscovering fluidity within a body that sometimes felt foreign. When she finished the 5th exercise, Amelia stayed there for a while, in child's pose, her forehead resting against folded hands. The quiet in the room was deeper, now not empty, but full. Full of breath, of warmth, of self-respect. For the first time in weeks, she didn't feel like she had to do more, be more, fix anything. She simply was, and that was enough. She sat back up, her spine long, her eyes brighter than they'd been when she started. It wasn't just the movement, it was the message behind it. These 5 easy and gentle exercise tips weren't about fitness, goals, or numbers. They were reminders to slow down, to connect, to soften, and above all, to listen not just to her body, but to the quiet voice of intuition that so often gets drowned in the noise of pregnancy books, advice columns, and Instagram feeds. Amelia stood, hands on her belly, and walked to the window. Outside, the world was waking up, but she already had. From the inside out, she reached for her journal and began to write not just what she had done, but how it made her feel. She wrote about strength, not as force, but as presence. About preparation, not as urgency, but as a quiet readiness. About how these small movements had offered her something bigger than exercise, peace. Later that week, her friend Naomi called, overwhelmed. I feel like my body isn't mine anymore, she said. I'm so tired, and everything I see online just makes me feel like I'm doing it wrong. Amelia smiled softly, remembering how she had felt not long ago. Naomi, she said, forget what the apps say. Just come over tomorrow, wear something comfy. We'll move a little together, nothing big. Just simple things, things that feel good. And the next day, they did. 2 friends, side by side, breathing, laughing, stretching, feeling. It wasn't a workout, it was a ritual. The sun moved across the floor as they swayed their arms in wide circles, like wings. The baby inside Amelia shifted, pressing gently outward. She placed a hand over the spot and smiled. The world might be rushing past outside, but in here, in this room, in this moment, time was still, and everything was enough. Try them today in the comfort of your own home. This is not just an invitation, needs a promise. That strength can be found in softness. That transformation doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. That motherhood begins not in the delivery room, but here, in the quiet choice to care for oneself, gently, lovingly,